And welcome back to the TSF Entertainment Channel. It's your boy Retro CG in the building tonight, and I am joined by DJ Fresh, Your Highness, in the building. What's up, brother?
What's going on, bro? What's good with you?
I can't call it. How was your week?
It was a rough one, but this episode made up for
This
it.
episode made up for it. It's kind of weird being here on Saturday nights, but we'll see what it feels like. So we are
Very.
here to talk about Power Book 2 Ghost Season 3, Episode 308, and it is titled Sacrifice. We are at Episode 8 already. The season is flying by. Flying by.
Flying.
I
But it's
mean,
been a great season.
it's
This
been a
probably been the
great
best
season.
season of the entire show. I mean, the entire series as a whole. This probably been the best season so far.
It has been a phenomenal season so far, and I think the last two episodes are going to take us out with a bang. So we're going to go ahead and hit y'all with that intro, and we'll be back to give y'all our review and our recap. And we are back.
We back.
We are in the building on this great Saturday evening.
Great Saturday evening.
All right. So, what would you think about the episode?
Great episode. All I'm gonna say is, if y'all didn't watch our first thoughts video, all I'm gonna say is, I told you so. That's all, that's all I'm gonna say.
Go ahead and
So,
get your "I told you so" off. I mean, we all have "I told you so" moments. I'm sure there's some
I mean,
people
yeah, we
that
did.
got a "I told you so." You know, I'm gonna always hit you with a "I told you so." But overall, we saw a lot of the things coming in this episode. As I said in our first thoughts, because they have focused the story more on the central characters this season,
Mm-hmm.
it's easy to follow where the writing is going. You know,
Yeah.
we can look ahead. All right. So we'll go ahead and get started and jump into this
Let's do
episode.
it.
Man, there's so many different things to talk about. The episode starts off with Davis and Sax on the rooftop, probably their law building. Davis
Yeah.
is pissy drunk, like he's getting smashed out of his mind. And him and Sax are having a conversation about his brother. He's pretty much, kind of upset at the fact that his brother, he's waited 28 years to get his brother out. He's finally here and
Yeah.
he's finally got him out, and his brother doesn't want to see him anymore. So Davis is
Yeah.
upset about that. Davis is like he can bust down a six-pack with ease.
There's no problem. That's why when I saw that, I was like, bro, there's no way just off beer. I was like, he had to have something stronger.
Oh
Cause I
yeah,
was like,
Davis.
man, like he was done for. I was like, there ain't no way. It's just beer. Like he must
Davis
have
is
had
pushing
more
him
than
back.
one six pack.
Yeah, he pushing him back.
Yeah, he was
Um,
knocking back.
He also gave Sachs somewhat of a side-handed, left-handed compliment, because Sachs was able to do what he has been trying to do for 28 years. Sachs
Mhm.
was able to get his brother out. So with that, he's developed, he's given Sachs his kudos. Like, yeah, you did what I couldn't do, so you're a great lawyer, or whatever the case may be. And you kind of see it in Sack's face that he kind of feels a little bad about that because he's playing him to the left or whatever the case may be. But I think at this moment, Davis is actually starting to develop some respect for Sachs. What did you think?
I felt the same way because he told him. He said, I'm trying to remember word for word, but he told him, as half, you're not a bad. He said, have something, you're not a bad person. So I felt then like he was giving him his respect, like, hey, you know, I know I brought you in on certain pretenses, but you're not as bad as people say you are. You're a good guy, you're a good lawyer, and you got my brother out of jail. So, but I also felt when the whole thing with Diana getting locked up, I felt like at the same time he was like, I don't trust you that much. I'm gonna handle this. And Sachs had to push him and be like, "Hey, you can trust me."
I think it was because speaking of which, he gets a call from Monet. Monet pretty much lets him know that Diana has been locked up,
Hmm.
and he's basically getting ready to scurry off downtown to try to get Diana out. Sax is like, stepping off to the side, ear hustling, try to see what he can hear, and so he can make his next move. Davis is like, yo, I got to be out. Sax is like, oh no, you're not in the condition to go down to the police precinct. Let me go handle it. This is what I do. I'm good at it. So, you just sober up and you can do the arraignment tomorrow. And Davis was like, yo, this is Monet. Monet gonna be tripping if I don't go down
Hmm.
here or whatever the case may be. He was like, no, I got you. I know how they play or whatever the case may be. So he gives Sax an opportunity to go downtown to, find out what's going on with Diana
Yeah,
while he get his mind right. He looks like he might be a little bit like, I don't know if I should be doing this, but I'm gonna give it a go anyhow.
the same thing I
Uh,
was thinking.
he gets a text from Tariq saying we need to talk ASAP. And so we already know what that
We knew
uh
immediately what that was.
we already immediately know what's up.
Immediately.
Yeah, this episode was one for the books. What pulls my teeth, it definitely was. All right, so the Law and Order sisters have got Diana hemmed up in interrogation room, and Diana has watched every episode of Law and Order, and she know her Miranda rights very well because she giving them a run for their money. She was like, "Oh yeah, that's how y'all feel." Well, I'm a first time offender. Y'all ain't really got no charges on me. Y'all probably got a call from this dude named Celine. He jealous because I broke up with him. Y'all ain't got no case here, whatever. And Jenny like, "Oh no, I ain't got no case. Well, what is this, ma'am? Can you explain this?" And she's like, well, I don't know what was in the bag. Like, but we
Yeah,
see you clearly take the bricks out the bag and put them in the locker.
exactly. That's the same thing I was thinking. Like we saw you take them out the bag and put them in the brick. Now, unless maybe it did, and that's what I thought they was going to show next with the next photo of her. Excuse me, taking it out. Taking out the bag and put it in there. But I can say I was shocked and surprised how, like you said, she don't watch Law and Order, but I was shocked at how Diana held it down because I was
Yeah,
for sure like she was gonna go in panic mode, but like yo, she held it down. I was like, okay, I see you, Diana. You holding it down, even when they threaten you with the Blanca threatened her with the whole RICO and all this other stuff. She still held it down. It was just
yeah.
like, nah, like it's my family. Like y'all been targeting us for a long time. I'm gonna hold it down. So I was shocked to see that.
I got to give Diana her props. She did a thing down there. I thought she was going to
Yeah,
buckle too, but she did. She held it. She held it together.
she held it together.
And mere fact that they really shouldn't have been questioning her without
Hmm.
her attorney present. So like I was waiting for her to pull that card on them any minute now, like lawyer. Because remember Monet told her when she went down there, don't say nothing, don't say nothing.
Hmm.
Been me, lawyer, lawyer, lawyer,
Yeah,
lawyer.
but I guess she felt like she could handle it on her own, and
She
she was
did.
because I was thinking the same thing as you. I was like, yo, they can't question her, but then I was like, oh, yo, you know what? I forgot she in college, so she an adult, so they can question her. I was
Yeah, because I
like,
was wondering if she was under the age of
I
21
was thinking,
or mine. I
mhm,
guess at the age of 18, I guess you can be
yeah.
questioned.
At that point, they figure you're an adult, but yeah, I think she just felt like, you know what? I'm gonna hold it down, so we good. I don't need them, so that's what she did. But she held it down for real.
I don't think that Dirty Diana was going to snitch at this point. They hadn't put enough heat on her, but you did see when they mentioned Lorenzo, that kind of got up under her skin a little bit. So if they would have kept on that course, if they would have kept on her at the Lorenzo level, they
Yeah.
probably could have got her the break because that's a weak point.
If at any point, I was thinking the same thing. If at any point they would have had some type of close to evidence that Monet was the one that unalived Lorenzo, she probably would have folded. At
Yeah,
that point, she would have folded.
She
She
would
would have
have.
folded.
Tariq runs down to Davis' office and like, yo, your boy Sachs, he a CI. They got a whole RICO case against us, and like, you the lawyer, you supposed to know these things. I'm coming to give you information. Davis like, say what, huh? Like, I know I've been drinking and thinking, but what you say? He was like, RICO, me,
Rico.
you, the
Yep.
Tahadas,
Yep.
Sachs,
Rico.
your partner, he's a snitch. And David's like, ah, hell no. He was
Bro.
like, let me go get the blicky. Tariq looking at him like, is this nigga serious? Is he finna go pull out a gun? What is he doing?
I didn't think that's what he was going for. I
Yeah.
thought he
I
was
told you
going
last
for,
week he was reaching for a weapon. I told y'all last week. I said I seen in a preview where he was reaching for a weapon. I said he get ready to go pull that blicky out on Sax.
Yep. You was right. I thought he was going to pull out some type of foul to like incriminate Sax. So when he pulled it out, I said, damn, bro, you about to risk your whole law career to take out Sax? And it's crazy that Tariq had to be the one that, he had to be the smart one to say, like, and I get it, because Davis he had been drinking, he was drunk, but he had to be the voice of reason to say, like, nah, we can't do that, because you take him out, that's gonna put more heat on us.
Yo, the mere fact that Tariq had to pull his chain and like, yo, you like, nah, calm down, dude. Like, what the hell are you getting ready to do? Like, did you not hear me? RICO. You finna go unalive this man. Like, you finna make things worse. That right there, if I hadn't suspected previously that something was going to happen to Sax and Davis them had something to do with it, that was foreshadowing right there, because Tariq pretty much told you in that moment that we can't do anything to Sax right now because they are all watching us. That's his CI. If the man comes up unalive, who do you think that's going to make things worse for us? So he was like, listen, I'm finna go down to the station. I'm going to handle it. I got this. The Law and Order sisters are still down at the police department harassing Diana, trying to get her to flip. She looking at them like, can I go back to my cell now? Because y'all get on my nerves. She like, can I please go back to my cell? Because y'all last nerves. Yeah, we have been saying it all season too. We couldn't understand why Davis hadn't caught on to the fact that Sax was moving a little slimy. Like, Sax was doing a little too much.
What's up with Xavier?
Especially for him not to be caught up.
Exactly.
Monet and the Tejadas, they sitting here like they trying to figure out like what the fuck just happened. Like, yo, what just happened? Like, the feds just came in and they only scooped up Diana. Monet is freaking out because she know that she ain't done right by Diana. She don't yoke the girl up. She don't threaten her. She don't put her out the house. She don't do everything to this girl. And she's like, yo, if it was two of y'all that got roped up, I wouldn't be so worried. But Diana, like, yo, she probably finna die me out to save her own self. I'm like, that's about right. But nah, she held it together.
Yeah, when she said that, I was like, see, you automatically thinking about yourself and you thinking about, you and Diana, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all little spat. I was looking at it at like, I thought she was going to say like, Diana's not built for this, like how y'all two are. But she immediately went to like, she going to dime me out. And I was like, well, goddamn, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, really? Like, I know y'all had y'all beef, but just to think that she just going to dime you out like that, like, so, but yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
I never was much interested in the whole backstory with the Theo and Davis character until they revealed this about Davis taking a rap for Theo. I wish that we would have gotten a little backstory about that as to why. What was the whole incident about where Davis ended up unaliving this person and Theo took the rap. I wish that they would have had a conversation about that after he got out. They could have cleared that up just with them having a conversation when he got out that, because it seems very similar reacting with this whole situation, how Theo jumped in to take care of the whole situation with the Sax. So I wonder if it was somebody they had beef in the street with, or if it was a situation where it was an argument gone bad. I wish they would have gave us some backstory on why Davis unalived someone and Theo took the rap. What's up, Jack?
Can y'all hear me?
Yep, we can hear you loud and
clear, bro.
Yes.
All right, what's your thoughts on the episode?
I actually liked the episode. It was predictable. We had touched up on it offline. It was very predictable, but I guess like after watching it so long, it's kind of like what we do is try to follow the footsteps of the writers. But like we said, we pretty much finishing the writer's synthesis at this point. But I think it was a really good episode. I got some question marks, but I'll wait till we get there.
I don't agree with you that it was predictable. I don't agree with that at all. It was not predictable.
Well, parts of it was predictable.
I mean, yeah, parts
Parts
of it
was predictable.
but for the bulk of it, it was not predictable. Like it was some stuff you ain't see coming at all.
I don't know, Xavier. I don't know if they said anything about it being a robbery going wrong. I don't think they really gave us the real reason as to why Davis ended up unaliving someone. They may have, but they fly by shit so fast in Power to, if you're not paying attention, you don't zoom in on the fine details, you'll lose it. Drew's like, calm down, Ma, everything gonna be okay. And she looking at him like, you fool. So Kane decides he wants to go down to Stansfield and look for some clues. And I wish they would have had him pull up on Celine and smacked him up a few times. Like, I wish that they would have had him. All right, Lady V, you've been asking for Jack and Jordan. There you go.
He's here.
He's here.
What's up?
There he is.
I'm here.
So Kane decides he's going to go down to Stansfield to see if he can find some clues in Effie's door. Yeah. They get a knock at the door. Drew's sitting there looking all scared. And Monet like, go get the door. Like, I ain't going to get it. You go get the door. That shit was funny to me.
Yeah, that was funny to me because I was like, both of them scared, but then I was like, they both go to the door, but I was like, neither one of them pulled out a gun or nothing to go to the door to make sure it wasn't somebody that was trying to get at them. I was like, y'all just gonna go to the door just regular, not on point. Like, yeah, I would have been on point. Like, okay, hold on.
As much dirt y'all got out here in these streets, y'all need to keep the blinkers nearby at all times.
Yeah.
Okay, Jeremiah says Davis killed a cop's brother. That's why the brother took the rap. I think they may have mentioned that. I thought it was the Castillos.
Go so fast. I don't remember.
Xavier.
He is. He definitely did some dirt.
Drew gets to the door and it's Boy Wonder himself, Tariq. He's got his cape on and he's coming over to give everybody information. I'm like, Tariq, you the prime suspect in the RICO, but you running around town telling everybody about the RICO case. Like, y'all got this high-powered defense attorney. What is he good for? He ain't get the job done. Drew's like, what are you doing here? And he was like, come and give y'all some information. And so they really freaked out now. Monet really freaked out now because she was like, RICO? Like, is that serious? I'm like, oh, yeah, Monique, you've kind of gone off the charts with predicate crimes at this point. I mean, you've been unaliving people since Ramirez. It's like, are you surprised? You should be.
Same thing I was thinking, like, bro, RICO is right up y'all alley. Like,
right.
Like, y'all been moving weight, unaliving, like, it's right there.
So, way too many cop visits for them not to leave out.
Whitman already took. Then you took out a cop. Yeah, you took out a cop
in your house.
Yeah.
In your house. Listen, Whitman told y'all.
Second cop they took out.
Yeah, it's the second cop y'all took out. 2 cops, right? Then,
that's the second cop they took out. What was they thinking?
Whitman was like, people come to the bar, they never leave. They go to the bar, but they never come out.
Never leave.
So Kane gets over to Stansfield, and I'm just like, I already knew where this was gonna go. He knocks at the door.
I knew where it was going to.
Effie answers, they're like, what you doing here? And he was like, he told her about Diana being roped up on these charges or whatever. And he was trying to get some information out of her to see if she knew anything about what was up. And she tried to play it close at first, but then she was like, well, she was selling drugs down there at the student union, and she got caught on a rooftop camera. I'm not sure how Effie knew about that though.
That she got.
I thought she said maybe she got caught on the rooftop camera.
She said maybe. Okay. Because I'm like,
I think she said maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think she said it was indefinite. I think she was just kind of like saying, if it's being stashed up there, she probably didn't see the cameras, and maybe she got caught on the camera. That's what I put the closed caption.
That's a matter of fact.
I think she said maybe.
Yeah, Jack is right. She definitely did, because I remember Kane asking her, and that's what she said. Maybe she got caught on the rooftop cameras that was up there or whatever. She definitely said that. She definitely said maybe she got caught on the cameras.
Lady V, I think the reason why they're not focused on the Castillos yet is because they're not making as much waves out here in these streets as the Tejadas.
Yeah.
The Tejadas,
they find under the radar.
Yeah, they flying under the radar. They pushing weight, but they ain't moving at the level as the
Yeah, they ain't unlive a bunch of people.
Yeah, the Tejados are they connect. So, they kind of on the low totem pole.
Nah, Xavier, they definitely kept it a secret. They didn't know. They didn't know there was a RICO on them. It was no clue. They was flying under the radar up until this whole situation. So if they had thought at any situation, at any time that the feds was on them, they would have shut everything down. And as we saw after this, when they realized it, they shut it all down.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
So Kane comes in, him and Effie has a conversation about the tuition money, and Kane was like, yo, look, I did that for you, but I didn't do that in hopes of getting anything out of you. I just want to make sure you're straight or whatever. And she decides to reward him for his good deed.
To reward him.
Yeah,
let me ask y'all this.
Like, man, your sister in jail. This what you worried about?
Yeah, that's exactly what he worried about.
I got a question because he said, when he had a surprise visit, he didn't want to be a simp. But wasn't he being a simp like prior to that visit?
Yep.
We're paying the tuition and doing all this extra stuff, knowing it ain't your girl.
He was a simp as soon as he went and had a head in the bathroom.
I thought he was simp prior to that. I just thought it was weird.
Nah.
But like you said offline,
he said
the hottest want to come down to the matters of the heart. They kind of, they're just kind of out there. Besides Monet.
Nah, he said it then. He said it then when Tariq showed up. He said, "Well, I'm a simp. They're gonna hide in the bathroom." That's when he became that simp. When he went and hid in that bathroom. But
so Davis is at the police department. He he calls his brother. He's been trying to call his brother and find out what's up with him. His brother's ducking his calls or whatever. So, he's trying to gather himself before he go inside. He just got this news from Tariq about Sax being the mole or whatever. So, he's trying to figure out how to approach this. Jenny and Sax are having an intense conversation and why y'all just didn't duck in an office somewhere? Y'all having this whole conversation out and open about, she's like, Sax, what are you doing here? Like, you're representing the accused. And I'm thinking to myself, did you have an issue with him or representing the accused and being your CI when they got rid of Whitman and he was representing Diana then? Like, now you want to call in his ethics?
Right.
So Davis is peeping around the corner and he peep game. He's like, oh, okay, this shit is legit. Okay, I got you. So he pulls up on him real smooth, and then they try to clean up their mess. A goes into the room first. I'm thinking to myself, why you just slide Diana the note as soon as you walked into the room?
All right, he could have.
But of course, they wrote it that way so we could see the note, so we could see him give Diana the note. The writers, they wrote it that way. So
I didn't even peep that he went into the room first now until you just said something.
Oh yeah, Jeremiah, he did give her a brick. That's how he ended up paying for the tuition because she said the brick wasn't enough for her to pay her bills with. Or whatever. He was like, well, that's all I get right now. How much money you need.
Tuition. I like simping early.
Yeah. You're trying to make sure the girl was straight. So they in there trying to talk to Diana. And, they're going back and forth, forward and backwards, side to side, and round and round. Sax is asking questions. Davis like, you don't have to answer that. Well, I need you to tell me this. No, you don't have to answer that. So she's like, huh? What? Both of y'all shut up. And she was getting ready to let some shit go for real. And David's like, oh, hell no. He wasted that coffee on Sax. I was like, smart move, good move. Slide Diana that note real quick. And Diana was like, okay, I got you. She looked at the note.
Sax was going to peep game on that.
Yeah, Sax was getting ready to peep game. If they would have kept this little banter back and forth about, he asking her questions, Davis is like, we co-counsel, so we on the same side, but Davis is treating Sax like he the ops. So yeah. So the note says, Effie, trust me. So Diana's like, word, got you.
Mm-hmm. Nah, support game, and they wouldn't have done that. It would have been the same thing revisited when the last episode when Effie came and saw Tariq and Diana's room. I don't think they.
I really thought they were going to do that though.
At the same time, I kind of thought they was, but I was like, yeah. But I'm crazy because I'm like, here y'all go, y'all sharing this little twin ass bed in college. I was like, okay, everybody.
Take your girl to a hotel.
Like, you know how small a twin bed is? Two people cannot fit in a twin bed that's comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah, Tommy was a simp though, and Ghost tried to tell him the whole time that he was a simp to Marcus. I agree with you on that because he not only with Lakeisha but with Holly too. Remember, he was he had Holly posted up in his crib and telling her all his business and stuff. Tommy was worse of a simp than Kane. You know, when these killers fall in love, you know. Yeah, that bed is small as hell, yo.
Bro, it's a twin bed.
Yeah.
I've slept in a twin bed. There's no way two people are fitting comfortably in a twin bed.
Yeah. So you got Monet is calling. It's the morning. It's the next morning. And you got Monet is calling Kane trying to figure out, like, nigga, you went down to Stansfield, but you never came home. Like, where you at?
She knew immediately.
Yeah, she knew immediately. You know, they all giddy and they all happy or whatever. It's a knock at the door or whatever. It's Tariq. And Effie was like, listen, I don't want no problems with him. You know, I got to see what this nigga talking about. Just go hide in the bathroom. So he's like, Tariq shows up and he's basically like, I need you to make this move for me. I need you to make this run for me or whatever the case may be. Make this run. And then Effie's like, well, why would I do business with you or whatever the case may be? And she was like, listen, I got to get myself back on point. And he was like, I'll tell you what, I'll give you a brick a week, you know, if you go make this little run for me or whatever. Kane's in the bathroom listening to all this, like, yo, whatever. You got Evelyn and her sons pull up to Monet and them house or whatever. Monet informs them that, you know, we got a RICO on us right now. Y'all need to shut shit down. And they're like, nah, we ain't shutting shit down. And Evelyn was like, nah, we need to, you know, follow Monet's direction. She was like, listen, I don't know what's going on, but I'm on top of it. I'm going to figure out what's up. And, you know, I'll let y'all know when to make y'all next move or whatever the case may be. As they getting ready to leave, you know, they approached Drew and asked Drew, like, what's up with Gordo? He was like, he's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's great. I think to myself, Drew, you come on, man. You supposed to be quick on your
over his face.
Yeah, it was all over your face. Like you should have been quicker than that. You should have been like, yeah, we had a big argument about these Russians. You know, he left. I ain't heard from him since. Like you should have played that shit to the left. Like something else could have happened to him. Like someone else could have got a hold of him. Instead, you fumbling and bumbling. Like, yeah, they know you lying.
And I hate to cut you off, Retro, but that's what I thought he was going to go to. I thought he was literally going to say the Russians. I thought he was going to say, yo, he followed up a lead on the Russians, or we got into it about he was nervous about the Russians. I thought somehow, some way he was going to tie the Russians into it. And he just like, oh, no. Yeah, we good. Like, I haven't heard from him. And I was like, bruh, like, that's already going to have their antennas up because it's like, okay, if y'all good, why we ain't heard from him? Like that's literally what I thought. I thought somehow, some way he was gonna bring the Russians into it.
Yo, it's crazy because you're right, Xavier. Monet always has a plan to unalive and murder, but she don't know how to. I think the smartest plan that we've seen her execute to date was what she did last week with Kai. Like that was the extent of her abilities to, you know, outthink a situation rather than just resorting to murder, even though it ended up in murder. But you know, she wasn't as sloppy with this as she was with the whole Lorenzo situation. Drew I don't know what to say about Drew. Kiki goes and pulls up on Brayton crib. And she's like, yo, this crazy ass Monet lady been calling down here all day looking for you about her money. I need you to put your suit on, get out your feelings about this whole Ponzi scheme and come on to work. And he was like, I don't know if I can do this and this and that. She put him on game. She was like, listen, you are the pot calling kettle black. You sell drugs for a living. And you're just mad because we're taking money from people that look like you. I was like, yeah, Kiki, but you are going to be the fall guy for all of this. You just don't know it yet.
Absolutely.
You just don't know it yet, Kiki. A pretty face with brains, yeah, and you're black, yeah. You're going to be the fall guy.
Trying to set them up in this scene.
Yeah. Actually, I really thought she was getting ready to come and present him with a sideline deal. Where,
That too.
they was going to try to work a little hustle on their own or whatever, because she all about the life now or whatever the case. But I'm wondering what they're going to do with this character, and I think that either they're going to end up being a rider. This is probably getting ready to be Brayden's Lakeisha, or this is getting ready to be Brayden's Holly. And I don't think it's going to end well for Kiki. I think Kiki is going to end up taking the rap for this whole Ponzi thing. What y'all think?
This might be Brayden's first.
I'm thinking one of two things. Well, one of three. I'm thinking either. I'm thinking one, Lucas is going to pin the Ponzi scheme on her. Two, Brayden, this is going to be his first unalive. Or three, Lucas is going to be the one that unalives her. So that's my three. It's going to be one of those three. I'll be shocked if that she stays to the end of the season. I'll be shocked. I'll be shocked if she makes it to next season.
I think either she's going to be the fall person, or Tariq might unalive her, or it's definitely going to be Brayden's first. One of those three.
I see Brayden before Tariq.
Okay, so I said this last night in our first thoughts. I don't think that they can take out Lucas yet. If Monet finds out about it, of course, that's going to be the first thing that she's going to want to do is to take him out. But they can't get rid of him yet till they get the money back. And the fact that he's on a payment arrangement, he ain't got the liquid funds to give him the money back yet. So they got to let him live long enough to do that. I don't know. There's a couple of different directions I can see them going with this. I could see RSJ taking over this whole Weston's holding. Yep. Because he's pretty much extorting them right now. He's pretty much extorting them, basically saying that I want all my money back or whatever the case may be. I think when he gets his money back, he's either still going to go to the Securities Exchange Commission, or he is going to get Lucas to sign over his shares in Weston Holdings. Somehow, some way, RSJ is going to end up taking over Weston Holdings. Or it could be a situation where Lucas ended up running off on the plug with him twice with their money, and he's going to be somewhere in another country. Or it could be a situation where they end up unaliving him. So there's several different scenarios I can see come out of that.
Sure, Amara, that's not too far-fetched. But I don't think Brady's going to take over Western Holdings that quick.
I can see RSJ taking it over.
Yeah, I can see RSJ
becoming like a majority partner or something like that. And
that's what this setup was for. That's what this setup was for, because it makes me think about how he approached those people at the tech company when he got that little bit of information from Effie about them not get their patents. I'm like, okay, RSJ gonna play this close to the vest for a little bit till he get his money back, and then I think he gonna swoop in and take over Western Holdings. Yeah, he gonna make a power move. Monet is laying Kane ass out. Yo, she laying his ass out. She's like, you stupid fool, you took our money down here to these white folks and think that they want to see us do well. We drug dealers, yo. Like, go get my fucking money back. And then, of course, she was trying to tell him, like, where you been at all night? Like, I've been calling you and trying to text you. Your sister locked up and you were laid up in some scholarship pussy. Like, you need to be down here trying to help make moves. Like, she be sunning Kane so bad, yo.
Skank. You supposed to be investigating, and as soon as she threw it at your way, you just
be all in it.
Be all right.
So Brayden finally shows up for work. Tariq scoop his ass up real quick and take him into the conference room and put him on game about the RICO. And then Brayden puts him on game about the Ponzi scheme. And of course, Tariq is like, what? My trust fund? Like, yeah, that's what your dumb ass get for bringing your money over here to you white folk. So, yeah, that's what your ass get. So this is just a big mess for the whole family. Like, everybody, and of course Tejadas is all wrapped up in it right now. So that can't be good for Western Holdings with the Tejadas money being up in there. Tariq's trust is up in there. Like, they just got a whole bunch of mess that they're gonna have to try to work through. Monet was like, oh, so you ain't gonna answer my calls? I got you. She pulled up at the country club. She had no problems walking up in there. These people looking at her like they ain't never seen a black woman before in their life. Like,
That's the same thing I was thinking. I almost felt the racist vibes. Like, yo, this is like we going back into the '60s. It was like ain't no black people alive.
That dude in the middle.
Especially that one in the middle. Yeah.
I was. That's the vibe I got. Like, ain't no black people alive. What you doing here?
Like,
how did she get in here? Like, how did she get in here?
How did she get in here? That's it. That's
that dude in the middle,
your
yo,
kind is not allowed.
Yes, your kind is not allowed.
He tells the concierge, "It's okay. Don't call security. She's gonna make a scene. So let me just hear what she has to say, and then we'll put her out." Yeah, but I'm kind of glad she didn't go in there on some hood rat shit. I was like, "Oh God, boy, they don't go in here acting all ghetto or whatever, because that's what they expected you to do." But she was like, "I've been calling you. You don't answer my call. So this is how this arrangement is gonna go. When I call, you answer. When I text, you answer. When I breathe, you do something. Either way, I want my money, and I ain't leaving here till you tell me something about my money." And he looking at her like, "Ma'am, ghetto lady, hood rat chick with the red hair. It don't work like that." So he pretty much panders to her. He's like, "Oh yeah, just make an appointment with my office and we can talk about it, whatever." But he hasn't at this point revealed to her that she's not going to get her money back or whatever the case may be. So she's still operating under the pretense that she's going to get a check with her money back. And I'm like, that's not how it works when you invest your money. You got to give your money some time for it to actually grow.
Right.
Monet was like, "Listen, I don't know what my son did. He came down here and brought this check to you, but it's against my will. So I want my money back or else."
I thought in this scene, I thought he got scared and realized, like, yo, if she done pulled up on me out of nowhere, like, let me get her money.
It found you, right?
And found you. That's literally what I thought. And he said to the two dudes that was there, like, "Oh no, you know what?" And he said to her, like, "I'll make sure." So I figured, like, yeah, he about to try to get her money at all possible because he ain't trying to get unalive. Like,
he better go find that $2 million from somewhere.
Yeah,
he better steal it from somebody else to give her money back. Like, listen, I'd rather deal with a white collar investor than have to deal with her. So
exactly.
She helps herself to a sip of his martini. She was like, "I'll be in touch," and she leaves.
Everybody off for it.
Saxton took his ass back down here to this precinct like he ain't got nothing else better to do than to pump Diana for information. He don't brought her a double quarter pounder with cheese, and she was like, "Thank you, I'm hungry." And so she said, one thing I can't say about Diana, she's a beautiful liar. She sat there and gave him every bit of information that he needed. And what did we see him do? He hauled ass quick over there to the next office to put Jenny and Blanca on Effie. And they looking at him like, "Effie? Like, she ain't nobody. Like, what is Effie about?" So Sax then proceeds to reveal to them about the information that he got from Diana. And so Blanca, she was like, "Yo, this shit ain't don't sound right. Like, where you get this information from?" And he was like, "Well, I got it from my client." And she was like, "You can't do that. That's privileged information. You represent the accused. You can't come in here and give us information." And I'm like, "Y'all been taking information from him that's been privileged all along. What makes this situation any different?"
Yep.
I got a question. Why didn't they think, Effie didn't have anything to do with nothing outside of Lauren's death? They already had her, on the roof. She didn't actually go inside the little hidden compartment, or whatever. But they already know that she was on the roof. They already know that she was messing around with Tariq. They already know that she was responsible for the attempted murder of Lauren. Why didn't they, like, I asked myself that while I was watching it, why didn't they believe that Effie couldn't be involved? It was almost like, nah, we ain't worried about her. She good.
Because go ahead, Fresh.
No, go ahead, Retro.
No, you go ahead.
No, I was just saying because it was like Sax said, he had always kept stuff so separate, so that's how they looked at it as, like, Effie don't know nothing. Like, she might have been moving product and not known it, but like she don't know the ins and outs of his business. Like Sax said, like I mean, no, matter of fact, it wasn't even Sax. I think it was Blanca was like, yo, she don't know nothing. And Sax was the one that had to say, like, nah, like, he's letting her in so she knows more than what she portrays. She's a straight A student. This is the easiest person we can flip. So that's how I looked at it. Because I was thinking the same thing at first. I was like, Effie not going. And then I was like, as soon as Sax said, I said, you know what? He right. Like, he letting her in because before Tariq always kept that separate. Because that's how, think about it. Lauren didn't even know what he was doing. He kept Lauren out of it.
But
Lauren
Lauren
never knew
wasn't
he was
also
out there moving weight like that.
Lauren wasn't a murder suspect either, though.
But at
They-
the same time, even if she wasn't, she still never knew about what Tariq was doing on that side. She never knew Tariq was moving weight like that. So,
and then they were holding that whole murder investigation as their trump card. The way I look at it is, they didn't think that Effie was that big in the organization. They just looked at her as a courier or a runner or something like that. They didn't realize how well connected she was into the organization because they don't know about, the things that she's been doing behind the scenes, like with the apps and things like that. So they just really didn't think that they would bear any fruit from shaking Effie's tree. It wasn't until Sax started putting all this other stuff in their ear about Effie where they're like, maybe we need to lean on her a little bit harder. But they were always going to come after her for that murder investigation, but they were trying to see if they can get more. They were going to try to see if they can shake out more out of Sax before having to use that as their trump card, because that was their trump card.
Because they wanted to tie her to that RICO instead of the attempted murder.
Yeah.
They knew that RICO, they was guaranteed to get her
and all of them.
And all of it with the RICO versus the attempted murder. Because the attempted murder, she could take a plea deal and whatever. They wanted her for that RICO. They wanted everybody wrapped up in that RICO.
Effie's back at her dorm doing something she ain't got no business doing. She gets a call from Kane, and she's so happy to hear from her new boo. And Kane's just like, oh my God, Kane, leave this girl alone because she's playing you. She playing you.
Cupcaking.
Yeah, he cupcaking.
Cupcaking.
Kane can't even finish his cupcake session because he hear all this commotion going on upstairs. Like, what this nigga up here doing now? Let me go see what's going on with you. I'll call you back, Effie. I'll call you back. Let me go see what's wrong with this nigga up here. So he go up here. Drew's just having a whole temper tantrum and tearing up that nice penthouse. And I would been like, Drew, what the fuck? Yo, what's going on?
I was hoping Kane punched him in the face.
Yeah, he was just tearing the room down. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, if this would have been his reaction to the whole RICO thing, it would have been more understandable. So Kane coming here like, yo, what's up? What's going on? This nigga turn on the TV, and it's about Everett and his new dude. I'm like, what the fuck?
Bro, I was so blown.
Is this what you concerned about?
Who cares? Move on, bro.
Yes, move on. You had moved on.
Obviously, he moved on. You actually moved on until you unalived him. Who cares? Drew needed an eye jamming right then and there because he is spiraling out of control with him and his emotions. And Kane should have just gave him an eye jamming.
Bro, I was so
should have yoked his ass up there in that damn room and clean up this goddamn mess.
Yeah, like tighten up, bro. What are you doing? We got a RICO coming. You want to deal with this?
Yeah, we are under a RICO investigation. Our sister is locked up in jail right now. We don't even know what she is telling the feds right now. And you worried about this nigga here?
Who's enjoying his best life in Oklahoma and OKC? You worried about that?
Listen, if I was Kane, they should have wrote Kane and said, that's who you should have pushed out in the fucking street. That's who you should have pushed out in the street.
Which I was thinking about why it seems like to me like Monet was like kind of going hard on Diana, like, you following Tariq around. She was going hard on Kane a little bit, like, oh, you just all wrapped up, you went up there to investigate some vagina. You talking about you was investigating, you went up there to investigate some vagina. I know what you were doing. I think she need way more tough love when it comes down to Drew and his emotions because he's all over the place.
Salute, let's talk.
So my whole thing about this, you're right, Xavier. I understand why he's upset. I understand exactly why he's upset, but just not the time nor the place for it. Nice. But he's upset because, like, this is what you broke up with me for, because you didn't want to, live in your truth. And now you coming out on national TV, and you coming out with this white dude talking about this your old dude that's helped you step through this whole situation. Like, so I get why you're upset, but I'm
Yeah,
so
now
sick
ain't the time.
of this storyline for this character. It's every other episode we have to deal with Drew's love life. Like it's like y'all running a criminal organization. Y'all are committing predicate crimes, murders, multiple felonies under a RICO investigation, people popping up around y'all left and right unalive. And this is what you're concerned about at this moment in time in your life. Great job, Drew.
I was for sure thinking that he was. I was for sure on the TV it was going to show Diana was the one being arrested. So I figured that's why he was mad. And when I saw that, I was like, bro, for real? Like, that's what you mad about, bro? I was like, come on. So
Yeah, that makes no sense. Just like this storyline, I know a lot of people like to take character. Again, Tate's story would be more tolerable for me if it was in influence where it had belonged.
yeah,
I'm sick and tired of them tying Tate into the story. Like at this point, let this nigga go on about his business. Like, of course, there's a congressional debate. It's at Stansfield, of course, of all places for it to be. It'll be at Stansfield. I'm so uninterested in the storyline that I didn't even get the name of his opponent that he's having his debate with or whatever.
I don't remember either.
And at what point did they define that him and Harper were in a relationship? At what point did we miss that episode? Or was that an episode? Was that an episode influence that we didn't get to see? Because at what point did they establish that they were actually in a relationship?
I think they just made us guess because of, you know, former they have a previous past.
Yeah.
So I think they just made us guess, like, you know, because I think it was what we're on episode 8. I think it was what episode 6, where like they kind of had like that interaction or so. So I think they just made us guess. But yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Like they never said that they was in a full relationship, so it was like, okay. And
anyway,
like
she's
said,
there cheering her man on.
This whole scene could have been gone.
Yeah, I could have done without this whole scene.
Mm-hmm.
I could have gave me more time with Sax before he had to go on. She's there supporting her man. Of course, RSJ is there. Like now, he's gonna show up at every event now. You know, okay, I'm here for it. It's the writing. It's the writing. Then you have the Westons there. Braden's like, I want to be anywhere else but here. And so Lucas, this kind of makes me feel like the father is maybe not as involved as Lucas is. Of course, he doesn't know about the whole Ponzi scheme, but he ain't clean either, because they were having a full-fledged conversation about, which one do you think is going to be our little gopher? You know, because they were basically trying to decide on who they wanted to give their campaign donation to, because they wanted to replace Sweeney and have someone in their pocket that would, be in Congress, that would move on their behalf. Of course, when Tate starts talking about capitalism and all this bullshit or whatever the case may be, they was like, yep, he's the one. So that makes me feel like the father ain't all the way clean too, but he's not as in too deep as Lucas is. Lucas is a whole con. Harper meets with Tate afterwards. Again, I'm not interested, so I'll fly through this. She basically tells him, you don't need to be bothered with those Westons. They're no good. Tate tells them about the lunch date he has with them and the campaign donation. She pretty much forbids him to do so. He lies to her. He ain't nothing but the biggest liar in the world. I don't know why she would believe a word he says, but he lies to her. It says that he's not going to get into bed with the Westons. I'm like, okay, well, what does she know about the Westons that nobody else does? Because, everyone else looks at them as pillars in society, but she looks at them as corrupt white men. So what does she know? And she got a whole Weston in her class. She don't seem to have a problem with that. But I wonder what that connection was all about. I feel like these are recycled stories from influence that are underdeveloped. Or maybe this was a pilot for, because sometimes in shows, they'll actually do an episode that's a pilot for another show. So I kind of wonder if this was like a focus for influence, just to see how well they looked on screen and, whether or not it would gain any traction, but it's boring.
very boring. And
He
that's
even
why
asked her to marry him. I'm like, okay, y'all haven't given us enough screen time with the two characters for us to even believe that they're in a committed relationship, let alone a serious one. But okay, it's the writing.
That was so unnecessary.
It's the writing.
but like I kept telling folks when everybody kept saying, "Oh yeah, Tate what happened?" I said, "It's not gonna last." I said, "It's gonna be boring." And it showed in this episode that
That's why I
even with
feel
his
like this was a
character,
pilot for Influence.
yeah, for his character, I was like, yo, it's gonna be boring. I was like, granted, Tate is a great character. I was like, even though his spinoff was gonna be Influence, I was like, yo, it's going to be boring because if you don't have the Tariq character, you don't have like what other characters are you gonna bring in that's gonna bring in that you know what I'm saying, that bring the show to bring the viewers to the show. I was like, it's gonna be boring. And it showed in this episode because he was trying to, and he's trying to get into that seat. I was like, it's just gonna be boring. So it showed in this episode, like, yeah, that's why they canceled the whole the whole spinoff for his show.
Now that's going to be interesting, DeMarcus, when that comes out about Tate's campaign money being tied up in that Ponzi scheme. So now that will be interesting. Tariq goes to tell RSJ about the Ponzi scheme, and RSJ is like, yo, we got to go down to the Securities Exchange Commission right now and report this. And Tariq is like, fool, is you crazy? Like, you got a little bit more money than I do. I need my little bit of change back. So, you go down here. But if we go to the Securities Exchange Commission now, I ain't gonna never get my money back. And RJ was like, well, it's because of your little shady ass that I'm in this mess to begin with. And I'm like, y'all just not realizing that Tariq shady. Y'all go up for Tariq. Y'all run around here for Tariq. Tariq don't create nothing but a wake of problems for everyone he interacts with. So I wanted, they should have had it written where RJ yoked his ass up like Ghost did. Yoked his ass up like, what you say, little nigga? I'm buddy. Yeah. Like, they should have let that other side of RSJ come out in this conversation where he yoked his ass up. Like, I don't play about my money, little nigga. You better find a way to get my money back. Yo, everybody flipping out about their money, yo. They ain't playing about that money.
Exactly.
So we got Junior is staking out Effie. Effie's going to get her little Toyota Corolla, and she's going to start her day. Junior's on the case. Junior's on the case, buddy. He watching. He is watching. So she's going to make that run that Tariq has solicited her for earlier on. They pull up on her, and she's picking up some of the Cap No Frap boxes or whatever, loading up her trunk with it or whatever. She's getting ready to head over to the warehouse. They watching. Sachs get a call from Jenny. Jenny tell him, like, look, it's finna go down. They finna raid this warehouse. Are you sure? You straight? He's like, yeah, I'm straight. And I was thinking to myself, all right, Sachs, when she gave you that phone call, you should have been gathering your things. You know what? I'll find something along the way. I'm on my way out of New York. When she called Sachs, he sat up there in David's office. That nigga should have been at the airport. He should have been on his way out of New York. Like, he should have been on the move.
You know what? For a split second, I was thinking, like, if I didn't think what we had discussed, offline, I was thinking the smart thing would have been doing that would have tied everything together is he would have left the sub house away, end up in Illinois.
That would have been dope if they would have sent him to Chicago.
House away, he could have ended up in Chicago, and did he see Tommy Egan? That could have progressed his character a little bit longer. But I had my prediction that it was gonna kind of like go a different way. But it would have been smart if he just would have left him like, hey, I got family in in the outskirts of Chicago or Illinois or something. I'm out.
Now, Xavier, I would have been here for that. Now that's a good way they could have. Again, this is a good way they could have carried Influence by putting characters like Ramona in Influence. Remember, in Power, we did hear Ramona talk about she had just recently went through a divorce. Her ex was a high power, influential person, but they never did name him by name, never did show him. That would have been dope if RSJ would have been Ramona's ex. That would have been really dope.
I mean, that would have been dope, but I still think at the same time, just because with that influence, like, we're so used to Power that we would have needed to see the violence, the drugs, unaliving, where influence wouldn't have lasted that long. It would have been at the bottom of the barrel for viewership because it didn't get that unless somehow some way they would have turned it into Tate unaliving folks. But I mean
No,
that would have been a great storyline, but it just would we would have had to have something else for that for influence. Like it
how they
just
could have tied that in, they could have gave Tate a Tariq like character that was in the streets
hmm
and that did his dirty work for him.
yeah.
And like whenever Tate had a political a problem with an opponent or something, or if it came down to like a vote or something, and somebody wanted to vote against him, Tate would use this Tariq like character to be his enforcer. It could have worked if they would have did like how they would have gave him a Jeffrey. If they would have
Yeah.
gave Tate a Jeffrey, the show could have worked.
I did a
DeMarcus,
couple of dirty cops.
yeah, or a dirty cop, or if
Yeah,
they would
I
have
did a
wrote
dirty
his
cop.
brother as the dirty cop. They should have
Yeah.
really made it where his brother had
Yeah.
been the dirty cop, and he
Where
did
is his
dirty
brother?
work for him. Fired, fired. He got
Right, but I
fired.
thought he was going. I thought he had like gave him a job to do something with his campaign. Did he turn
Tate
that
barely
down?
got a job himself. He can't afford to pay nobody nothing else. Tate ain't got no win. He's shaking Tariq down for $5,000 worth of Bitcoin every month. Tate ain't got no money. DeMarcus, I don't think she was picking up product in this scene. I think she was just picking up the cups. I think she was just getting the cups. I don't think she was getting any weight. Because remember, they had a warehouse full of weight, so she wasn't picking up weight. I think she
Right,
was
she
picking
just
up.
picked up the cups.
She was getting the cups. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Sack should have had his ass on the fuck up out of New York, and that would have been dope if they would have had him, pull up in Chicago, hide out in Chicago.
Yeah.
I saw this picture here. Me and CJ, we was thinking that he was lovesick over Gordo. Never in a million years I thought that this nigga was stalking Drew. He all up on Instagram looking at the man posts, and I'm like, Drew, let it go. Like,
Yeah.
let it go.
That's just
He's stalking this dude. He see the dude out at the restaurant or whatever. This motherfucker lose his mind. Drew peep him, go over and say, hey, Drew, I was getting ready to call, let you know I'm in town or whatever the case may be. And this nigga just goes bananas at the bar. Just have a whole emotional breakdown about how he had found someone of his own and now he's gone and this and this and that. And the girl that was sitting next to her on the phone record the whole shit and it's on YouTube. And I'm like, Drew, you just made things way
gotta
worse.
be smarter than that, kid.
Way worse. And if this was product that she was moving, I feel like Effie would have been moving like this. Like she's all out in broad daylight, plain sight. Because remember when she first got the bricks from Tariq the first time, she was hiding them in her car seat. She was hiding them in the car seat and the tire and stuff like that. So I feel like she was just picking up the cups here.
Yeah,
She
she
gets
just
to the warehouse. She pulls
they was
up the
just telling her to see where she was going.
Yeah.
I think it was also because at the same time it was like when they did it and she put it in her joint, all of them was together with Noma's counterpart.
Yep.
And this time,
she was by herself.
Yeah, she was by herself. So I think that's why she thought nothing of it and thought nothing was gonna happen, and then they just happened to roll up and that's what it was. So I mean,
Man, listen, they pulled up on Effie so smooth. They pull up on Effie. Effie turned around and saw what the fuck. She threw the box down and she started.
I don't know where she thought she was running to, but she took off. You gotta try it. You ain't trying.
Like, this is the worst chase scene.
It was.
Where you think you was going?
That shit was funny though. I ain't gonna lie, that shit was funny though. Effie was.
I was like, she ain't even making a block.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She didn't make it around the corner. What are you talking about? She didn't even make it around the corner.
She made it 3 sidewalk squares, bro. She made it 3 sidewalk.
They yoked her up. Yeah, they yoked her ass up before she could turn the corner. I still see her car in the background.
Exactly.
That's her ass up real smooth. Like, you ain't going nowhere. Come here.
Right.
She's like, let me go. They go into the warehouse. And Junior's like, oh shit, I got some action now. I'm finna get a promotion. Yeah, that's what you think. They go in the warehouse. He's like, oh hell yeah, we got some action.
I already knew they switched it out.
And next thing you know, it's a bag full of sugar. He's like, huh? What is this? Taste it. Put some in the coffee.
They got me on this one.
Yeah, that was a twist. I thought for sure that they were getting ready to get all of Noma's weight. I thought for sure they would get ready to scoop up Noma's weight.
But see, here's the thing though, because like if they put Effie in the middle of it and she went down for that, it was no way that she wasn't giving people up.
I mean,
so they had to. So for me, it only made sense for them to switch it out because it makes sense. And now it makes sense now that I think about it. Just more what y'all was saying when I was like, why wouldn't they think Effie, was involved? This, that, and the other. It makes sense. It puts it all together for me now because she wasn't really at risk as far as the drug things go. She didn't know about the murder situations that they got on her. So it makes sense with the drug things though, because she really never was really at risk when it came down to the drugs. So they really had nothing on her once they switched that out, because if they left that stuff in there, she was flipping.
Bro, when you get rid of RICO is RICO. It's a wrap.
Tariq is sitting in his car watching everything on his phone or whatever. And he watching everything go down. He sent Monet a text, told Monet we good, everything good. Monet turned around and sent Evelyn a text, we good. Evelyn is at her diner or whatever. When her son come up and show her the YouTube video about that dumbass Drew. And she was like, oh, word? She was like, oh, shit ain't about this ain't right. I'm finna go find out what's going on about this. So she gathered up her stuff and she going to go find out what's going on about this. Monet at the house having a meeting with her thinker, her smart son. When Kane and Effie pull up. Effie pull up like, yo, I know what y'all did to me. That was fucked up, but I feel you. I feel why y'all did it, because I would have done the same thing to y'all. Kane like, y'all really out here trying to set up Effie or whatever. And she's like, yo, let's be out, Kane. She's like, you riding or not? He was like, yeah, I'm coming. And they leave.
They can't go running.
Monet looking at him like, this nigga here. Another one of my dumbass kids. And then Tariq like, oh, word? Oh, all right. So
yeah, I saw that little jealousy in Tariq because he was like, you knew about this? I was like, oh. And that's just when I thought they was going to show the jealousy from Tariq, but they didn't.
Evelyn's whole situation, Evelyn gonna be a problem. Because I think Evelyn could end up. Nah, she ain't a snitch. I was thinking that Evelyn might drop a dime on Monet too, but I think at the end Evelyn might end up taking out Monet.
She gonna try.
Yeah, she gonna try. Yeah,
that's what I think. She gonna try.
Let me put it to you this way: Evelyn might be the last one standing out her little crew, because I think all of them finna be. They dropping them one by one. They don't got lost one of the husband, or lost one of the brothers. The other three next. Kane gonna take them out. Kane gonna take them other two brothers out. Monet like, listen, you got anything else to read? Cause you got your money to go get my check, and I'm finna go upstairs and lay down. So I'll see you later. Bye. She have a whole little house shoes, so she's like, listen, I ain't got time for this. Y'all need to
I beat the same thing. I said, yo, they finally showed her she got some slippers on and everything.
I was like, okay, I'm tired of y'all there. I'm finna go lay down. She's like, I'm finna go lay down. Y'all. See you later, Tariq. What's up, Quintessential? Good evening. Jenny is big mad. She don't got one of the sugar bricks and she don't dumped it out on the table. She was like, it's sugar. She laying Sax out. She's like, did you burn me? Did you set me up? Sax was like, no, I didn't. Sax was like, no, I didn't. And she was like, well, somebody did something because it was nothing but a warehouse full of drugs. Mm-hmm. And she was like, well, look, since you fucked up my case and got everybody looking at me sideways, I ain't got no protection for you. So you out here on your own. And he was like, word? That's how you feel? She's like, yeah, that's how I feel. He was like,
crazy thing is she messed the case up herself, though. I hate to cut you off, but she messed the case up herself. You ask me, she did it from the beginning, where she was hiding, where she wasn't responding to Sax. You already know how Sax get down, but she wasn't responding to Sax. Sax was go stupid around and see who was good. So if she would have just kept it honest with her from the gate, I could see things going better as far as their favorite go when it came down to, the ultimate sacrifice, that we got at the end. But it really was her fault.
Yeah, it was. And Sax was like, "Did you ever love me?" She was like, "Love, nigga, it ain't got nothing to do with no love. I'm trying to win a case." And he was like, "Yo, you like the worst thing that ever happened to me." He was like, "Yo, I really cared about you or whatever." She was like, "Man, I ain't trying to hear all that." She was like, "Listen, good luck out here in these streets.
Karma though.
Vamonos. Good luck out here in these streets."
That's
So
karma for me.
Sax scurries off. He get to the whip. He calling Tariq. And he was like, "Look, nothing better not happen to me because I know where your peeps at. And if you ever want to see your peeps again, you're gonna let me get out of a jail free card right here. Let me get up out of town, and y'all ain't gotta worry about me no more." By the time Sax get in his car, Theo pull up on him real smooth, like, nah. He put the blicky to him and like, "Yo, drive." Sax like, wait a minute now. Just think about this. Just be cool. Just be cool. Just be cool. Drive, nigga, drive. Poor Sax. He got yoked up. So Tariq gets the voicemail from Sax, but he's in the meeting with RSJ and Lucas and Brayden. Brayden sitting over there in the corner like he in timeout or some shit. Like, nigga, sit up at the front of the table too and be a boss. Be a boss. You sitting over here in the side.
Balls, Brayden.
Be a boss. I would have been sitting in the middle of the man. Like, yeah, I told it. Yeah, I told it. And what? What? Yeah, I told it.
He's sitting off to the back.
Yeah, he's sitting in the back of the class.
Yeah.
Lucas is like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. Obviously, my drug dealing nephew has given you some bad information. RJ, like, cut the bullshit. Like, I know you're running a Ponzi out here, but you better have my money. And then Tariq is like, yeah, in my trust fund too. And Brayden off in the back of the room. Oh, and the Tejadas money too.
Right, don't get it right. Hey, don't forget about the Tejadas. Thank you.
I'm like, Lucas look at Brayden like, I'm gonna fuck you up. He looked on there at Brayden like, I'm gonna beat your ass as soon as they leave. RSJ pretty much told them that, listen, I'm gonna give you a little paper plan and run me my stacks back. But in the meantime, nothing can happen to Tariq and nothing can happen to Brayden. Nothing happened to these kids while you paying my money back. And I feel like the second he get that last payment from, he gonna roll up in there with papers, and he gonna take over that Western Holdings. He's gonna take over that Western Holdings. Lucas don't even know what's coming ahead of him.
He got leverage. He got leverage. So why wouldn't he? You know, even if he get his money back. Now that I got my money back, let's discuss other terms. And he probably gonna be looking at him like, other terms. Nah, we're gonna discuss some other terms because I don't like the way you've been doing things around here.
I'm waiting for that to come back too around DeMarcus, that burner phone he put in that teddy bear with his sister. I'm waiting for Tasha to call him up any minute now. They haven't revisited it yet, but we hadn't forgot about that. That phone was in that bear.
The same thing. I've been waiting for ever since, he told his grandmother to go see, Miss Washington. I've been waiting for it to, like, hey, we about to get the Tasha joint, but we ain't got it yet, so.
Yeah, we'll get it. So again, Harper and Tate are having a whole conversation, and she finds out that he took the lunch date with the West Ends and he took the money from them, and she mad. She's like, "You'll never see me again." And I'm like, "So, please."
This scene was so funny because he was like, I was looking at the intern tits. It ain't my fault that they just be bouncing around and all this other stuff. I was like,
yeah,
what?
That was funny for me. Yeah, that
where you get this, bro? It was like I was not looking at no intern tits. Wow.
I was not looking at light skinned Keisha titties. I wasn't doing none of that.
Right. Tell him more lies. He probably ain't gonna ran through light skinned Keisha.
Oh, he definitely was looking.
Tariq up in Davis' office, letting Davis hear the voicemail between Sax, where Sax had just left him, and Davis gets a phone call from the clinic letting them know that the trial wasn't successful for his brother, and that the brother wasn't doing well or whatever the case may be. And of course, it takes Tariq to put two and two together. That when did you get the call from your brother? About Sax? He's like, about an hour ago. And they realize that Sax has been taken by Theo, and they scurry off to go find him. I'm like, oh God. Super Friends, Wonder Twin powers, activate. Diana gets out of jail, and Monet outside. You know, she doesn't greet her with a hug. She doesn't say, "Oh, baby, are you okay? I'm so glad you're okay."
Nothing.
She tells her, "Look, I want to transfer out of Stansford. And I want to go to Spelman." And Monet like, "I got to slap upside your head. You better go get in that car. You ain't going nowhere."
Fresh slap upside the head. And that, you know what? And I think here's the thing though. Like I think Monet would be smarter than that, because when she was sitting at the table, she was like, you know, Diana will burn me, you know, because when I was, you know, mourning over Zeke, I was out of my head. You know, she had burned me to save, you know, to save herself. And then that's why I was like, you know, at some point, Monet it would be smart, it would behoove her to make amends with Monet to, you know, to kind of make that right. I would think.
Who's Harper? I just had to ask that question because I saw Harper.
Harper is Tate's old lady.
Oh, okay.
That's her name.
But to go back before we jump into this scene, what was it? It was what was it before the scene? It was okay, yeah. So here's where I got lost, because I felt like in that voicemail before Sax hung up, Theo should have been on that voicemail.
I said the same thing.
Because I was like, there's no way, because I was like, he had the phone still on before he hung up when he told him, when he pulled the gun on him. So I was figuring like, yo, you know, Theo's voice is going to be on the voicemail. And it wasn't. And I was like, that doesn't make sense to me, because he didn't hang up until after Theo said something. So he should have been on the voicemail. So I was kind of lost by that. But fast forward to the
it's the writing.
Diana thing, I said the same thing. I was just like, damn, like, you know, like, you already know, you said Diana's not built for this. You know, we've had our thing, you know, we've had our little back and forth or whatever. So I figured in this scene, I figured she was just gonna be like, you know what? You right. I'm gonna let you go. You're not built for this. And this is what it is. And then she was like, yeah, I smack you upside your head. And I was like, yo, like, why? Like, Diana said this ain't for her. Like, you already know, like, you thought Diana was gonna burn you, so why would you keep her in the city? Why not just let her go and restart all over again, where she ain't got nothing to do with the business?
Monet can't let none of these kids go nowhere, because they all aid her in her criminal organization. She don't got no real workers. She don't got no real muscle or whatever. So she need these kids to, you know, aid and abet her schemes and scams or whatever. She ain't finna let Diana ass go no the fuck where until they get up out this RICO. And even after they get out this RICO, she gonna still use Diana to, you know, do her dirty work. Diana stomps off to the G-Wagon and he's like, I can't stand her. I hate her. I'm tired of this. Oh, like poor Diana.
Yeah. I feel bad for her. A little.
A prisoner. Came back in the twin size bed again with Effie. I'm like, yo, take her to a hotel, please. See, if y'all would have been posted up at a hotel, they wouldn't have been able to pull up on y'all.
Bro, she had pants on the whole time, so I was sitting there like, what you feeling, bro?
She was dry humping
the entire time. Y'all taking it back to middle school where y'all dry humping. She had on pants. What you feeling, bro?
So yet again, there's another knock at Effie's door. I'm like, damn, Effie, you ain't got no goddamn privacy every time. So I turn around, somebody knocking at your goddamn door. You need to put a do not disturb sign on your door or something. Like, I'm busy, I'm studying. So Effie gets a knock at the door or whatever. It's someone posing as maintenance about a gas leak or whatever. She's like, oh, hold on a minute, I'm getting dressed. And the person's like, I'm coming in. She's like, no, I'm coming. And it's Blanca and the police. They yoke her ass up again. Like, she looking like, damn, I'm tired of getting snatched up. Twice in one episode, they don't cuff her ass and drag her ass out of there. Kane like, yo, what's going on? Y'all got a warrant? And Blanca like, you better shut up before you X.
So I take your ass down here.
Right. She's like, if I had an inkling of evidence to arrest your ass, we'd be getting you too. So mind your own business. Mm-hmm. They slow walk her ass out the dorm or whatever. Jenny standing here all posted up with her legs crossed. I'm like, I wish something.
Please, anybody.
I wish that a plane or something would have just fell out the sky on top of her right here or something. I'm
Or the
ready.
car would have moved and she would have fell up under it.
Yeah, I'm ready for Jenny to go. Please take her. Take her.
The scene was so stupid because it was just like, yo,
It was
if
sloppy.
he didn't know, y'all could have held this. Like, this is like holding the ace card. Y'all could have held this and not let her know what was going on, and y'all could have just easily be like, yo, we got you on murder one.
Yep.
We got you on murder one charges. And what you gonna do? Because we know you unalive Lauren. We got your fingerprints. We got this. We got that, etc. They could have just did it that way, but for them to do it this way, I was like, yo, this is so stupid. I was like, it's so stupid now.
Yeah, this was a lost opportunity.
Because it's like now easily Effie can, she can easily be like, okay, well, y'all want Tariq? Okay, well, y'all got Tariq. Or y'all want Monet, but at the same time, like we were saying on our first thoughts, I don't know how she can even do it now without implicating herself.
Yeah.
In RICO. I don't know how she could do it.
They played their hand. They played their hand too soon. Because what they really should have did, they really should have held Lauren out till they went to trial and let Effie plead not guilty. Yep. And let her back herself into a corner where she had no choice but to take a plea. They should have made it where she would have lied, continued to lie, and then they would have produced Lauren as a witness at trial. Then she would have had no choice but to fold over and take a plea. But anyway, Jenny was out here like, Effie was like, well, wasn't no drugs in the warehouse, so what are you arresting me for now? She's like, oh, you're being arrested for attempted murder. Then Lauren pulls the window down. Knowing that Kane is in the vicinity, knowing that Kane is walking out behind them, they let Kane see her. And I'm like, you just put the witness in danger again. Effie was like, she just seen death.
Seeing a ghost.
And I'm like, y'all just forgot all about Kane was there? Y'all just forgot all about Kane was there? Kane just saw what happened. So now y'all put the witness, y'all only witness, back in danger again. Like this.
They got desperate.
Take Lauren and Jenny at the same time. Take both of them at the same time. Take both of them.
They got desperate, and they was just hoping for some type of win for the day.
Map, you're right. They don't give a shit about Lauren.
Out of desperation, they gonna end up regretting this because they got desperate, and they was just hoping. They put everything on. They put way too much on Plan A, and not realizing that Plan B had moved to Plan A, and this is the one card that we got in our back pocket in order to win the spade game. But instead, y'all threw the ace out too soon, not knowing that it's still other books that could have been collected.
Nah, this ain't no ace. This is a joker that they played. They played a joker, and it wasn't time to play a joker yet. They played a joker to cut a book. This was too soon. Xavier, what are you talking about? 24-hour security. Huh, that's laughable. Is this the same 24-hour security that allow her to
buy DA thing?
This is the same 24-hour security that allow her to slip out and meet with Tariq? Is this the same 24-hour security that hasn't found her burner phone that she's been using to call Tariq the whole time? Yeah.
Listen,
the same 24-hour security that allow her to go to the bathroom at the DEA office and talk with Tariq? Yeah, okay. She got security.
Yep.
DeMarcus, even if Effie gave up all of that, she still is going to be implicated somehow, some way.
Yep.
And that because it's a RICO. I don't know if y'all know what a RICO is. If you're not from the street and don't know what a RICO is, there's no way you're not going to be implicated somehow, some way in a RICO. Once you're wrapped up in a RICO, it's a wrap. Even if you fold, you rat, you're still going to get those years regardless in a RICO. Once you're in a RICO, it's a wrap. Especially when it's federal, it's a wrap. So even if she gave up all of that and said like, yo, Tariq did this, Tariq did that, etc., she's still going to get wrapped up in that RICO regardless. And let's just say for whatever
Unless
sake,
they really didn't want her. Unless they
let's
really
say
didn't
she don't
want her.
get wrapped up in the RICO, she's still going to get those charges for
The
attempted murder on Lauren, regardless. So she's gonna go down regardless. It's no way out. It's no way out for her. She's gonna go down regardless. They're gonna make sure that she's gonna go down. Like even if she don't get that RICO, she's gonna get those she's gonna get that attempted murder charges regardless. But once you wrapped up in a RICO, it's a wrap. I don't care what you do. You can snitch all you want to. You can look at the most famous snitches. You can look at RICO. And if y'all know who RICO is, then y'all know who I'm talking about. It don't matter. Once you wrapped up in a RICO, it's a wrap. You done. So,
But in some cases, depending on who's prosecuting the case, they will offer her some type of immunity, or they will offer her a reduced sentence. Where, like, okay, if you snitch, instead of you getting 25 years of life, we might give you 2 to 10 or something to that extent. It just depends on how bad they want her and how bad they feel like she's part of the criminal organization.
mm-hmm.
She's not that high up on the totem pole. Now, she gave him somebody like Noma, then, that's pretty high. She might could take a walk for something like that, but they ain't gonna hardly take a walk on Tariq. I don't know. Then again, they might though, because they've been going after the St. Patrick's for a long time.
Yeah.
So, but what works against her on the whole immunity thing is they have her for the attempted murder. And Lauren and her family ain't gonna let her ride on that unless Lauren gets unalive. That's the only way Effie's going to get out of that attempted murder charge.
Xavier, I'm not even. We don't have enough time. I can tell you why he got out of that RICO, but that'll be a whole good 30-40 minutes. I'm not even gonna get into that how he got out of that RICO, but
yeah, she'll get a reduced sentence.
Yeah, we on pause, so we gonna keep on moving.
So poor Sax is being shuffled to the helicopter pad. I'm like, poor Sax. But Sax, ain't was nothing for you to do, sir. You couldn't bust a move because he had that blicky on you the whole time, so you couldn't bust a move. So I feel you, Sax. Sax is trying to talk his way up out of this whole situation, but it ain't working this go round. Davis and Teen Titan Tariq is heading to save the day. Teen Titan Tariq is on the job trying to get to save the day. And they get to the helicopter pad, whatever, and Davis is screaming and hollering for Theo to put the gun down. Theo was like, no, go away. And it's like, no, go away. It was like, no, go away. I got this. And Davis is like, listen, it's been 28 years that I've been trying to get you back. I finally got you back. I can't let you go out like this. He was like, listen, we can find another treatment for you. He was like, nah, there is no more hope for me. I have 1 month left to live. Let me take care of this problem for you. Like, you've done so much for me. I can take care of this for you. And without any hesitation, bam, bang, bang, pop.
I told y'all.
Went to the heart. So all those conspirators out here that thinks that Sax is still alive, he's not. He took a bullet to the heart. And
I told y'all.
Shut up. I feel a loss right now. I mean, I never thought the day would come that I would actually be sad about seeing Sax go. I feel somewhat of a loss. Sax has been with us for so long. Like, I guess what I'm more so upset about is how they chose to take him out. You let a no-name character like Theo take out Sax. Now, if it would have been somebody like Tommy, even if it would have been Tariq, I could have lived with that. But all these people that have been trying to get Sax, Ghost tried to get him, Tommy tried to get him, all the people on the Power universe that you let take Sax out is Theo. I would have rather them had Davis take him out. Like, they didn't do Sax justice. They tried to give him his little 5-minute shine when he took that slow fall to the ground. He was like, thud. Tariq, like, what? In front of me, like, Tariq, I don't know why you shocked at anything about somebody being murdered. The way all these felonies and murders you don't committed.
I'm happy he's unalive, honestly.
I
Cooper
don't know.
Sacks
I
has
felt
been Cooper Sacks has been a thorn
he has
for what, 8 seasons?
9.
9 seasons. So he's been a thorn for 9 seasons. He's
I
been
checked his IMDb. Cooper Sacks has been in 63 episodes of Power. He has been in the most episodes than any other character on the whole show.
it was time for
At
him to
least to
go.
date.
It was
Yeah,
time
it
for
was
him to
time for
go.
him to go. It was time for him to go, but I just the way Jenny played him, left. The fact that they let Theo take him out, like I really feel like for a character like that, it's just like with the Julio death scene. We would have been satisfied if Julio would have got a raw death scene. We wouldn't have been satisfied if anyone else, like Paz or somebody, came in and took out Ghost. I feel like because this character has been on the show for so long, they should have let someone else take him out. That would have been more fitting.
Nah,
Like,
I think it's the only
I
reason
think
why.
I think a lot of people saw it coming though.
oh, we all saw it coming. It's
I
been
think a lot of
coming.
people saw it.
It's been coming a long time coming. It's been a
Yeah,
long time
I
coming.
think the people I personally, offline, I said that he was gonna get. Well, I said that Theo was gonna, do something to Sax, because I felt as though like they keep bringing his character around, and there has to be a reason why they keep bringing his character around. If they're not gonna put this, if they're not gonna somehow, some way put this back on Davis, then there has to be a reason that they keep bringing Theo around. The only reason I could possibly see was to clean up some of Davis's mess, because he has no other reason. He has no other reason to be in the episodes.
Like I said, if y'all watched it, I told y'all, I said he was going to unalive Sax, and then he was going to unalive himself. Called it from day one, and I said it, and it happened. And I was like, as soon as that happened, I was just like, I was like Young Thug daughter. I told y'all I ain't gonna say it, but I was just like, yo, I kept telling them like, yo, like when he kidnapped him, I was just like, when we seen the steals, I was like, okay, he kidnapped him. That's what's gonna happen. Like he's not going to those treatments not working the way everything is saying that it's working. So I had that feeling, or I was like, my last point was I was thinking like, yo, Davis was going to shoot his own brother to try to save Sax. But
if you go back and look at our recap for last week when we got to the end of the episode on what to expect for next week's episode, I spelled out this entire scenario right here. That this is just off the pictures. Just
yeah,
off
you
the
did.
pictures,
We
I
both did.
spelled out
We
the
both did.
same scenario that this was how it was going to happen. And I get it. And I get it was time for Sax to go or whatever the case may be. But, this is Power. So it's a little bit different than what we saw in The Wire. It's a little bit different. I mean, yeah, Omar was a character that was around for a long time. But like I said, Sax had been worming his way out of a lot of shit all throughout Power. And I wanted someone else to get their revenge. I would have rather Tommy had done it. I would have rather they sent him to Force and let him got unalive over there.
Yeah. Janice, if that happens, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I will be pissed because at this point,
Sax isn't
it's
alive.
gonna be pointless. It's gonna be pointless if that happens. At that point, I don't even want to watch the show no more.
I agree with Bap. He's very dead. He's dead. Sax
He's
is
dead.
not here with
He's
us.
unalive.
He's gone.
I think I saw a clip. I think I saw a clip where Courtney Kemp said he wasn't that he wasn't going to be back too. And normally when Courtney Kemp confirms something like that, it's usually true.
Well, this is Power. This is Empire Power. So this is Empire Power. So Empire Power, we can bring dead characters back like Lauren. So, but I'm going to stand firm and say that Sax is gone. And you're right, Xavier. Whatever happened to Davis' wife? We never met her. We never got any more of their storyline since Paula left. So I would like to have seen them introduce her character. Maybe we'll get her next season. Anyway, Davis loses it, and his brother is gone. He's gone, and there's nothing he can do about it. Not only is his brother gone, but this is a whole big mess that needs to be cleaned up now.
Like I said, look at that.
That's going to be a big
gone.
family. He's unalive.
Yeah, that bullet went straight through. Went through and through. He's gone. There's no way.
Yeah, I want to see Cheese and Chris from The Wire in a scene together. That'll be dope. Yeah. Yeah, man. Sax is gone. And this is going to be a big problem for the family because now what they were afraid of happening has happened. So now Jenny and them, Blanca and them, they all going to know why Sax is unalive. So this is only going to add more evidence to the RICO.
Mm-hmm.
So suicide is a real big thing, guys. So if anyone's out there that struggles with depression and have suicidal thoughts, please, seek out some help and call. There's crisis lines out there. You can call the suicide crisis line. There's websites out there. Nobody ever has to feel like that is the only option that's available to them. I know a lot of times in our personal lives, we struggle with things and we feel like the world may or may not care. But please don't ever result to having to take your own life and think that's going to make life better for your loved ones and even the people that you think that may not care about you. Try to seek out some help if you're struggling with some things.
Exactly.
All right, so that was this week's episode. Overall, a real good episode. Like I said, I hate that we get this 2-week break. So we're going to talk about next week's scenes and see what we got for next week. So we do get a break, guys. Episode 309 is titled A Last Gift. It airs May the 19th, guys. It airs on May the 19th. Yep. Synopsis for the episode. Tariq scrambles to get ahead of information that could incriminate the drug organization and jeopardize his family's safety. The feds double down and set their sights on a new target to aid in their investigation. So based off of the episode description itself, I pretty much think that this information that can incriminate the drug organization is going to be that file from Whitman's apartment. It's going to come back around again with Lorenzo's fingerprints on there, Zeke's crime scene. That's going to come back around. I'm very surprised that Blanca hasn't played her Joker yet. She got a little Joker. She hadn't played it yet because remember, she got the picture of Tariq at the penthouse that night that Dante Spears got unalive. So why she hasn't played that card yet, I'm not sure. The feds double down and set their sights on a new target aiding their investigation. We know that's Effie. All right, so let's look at these flips. Let's see what we got. So we got Monet and Diana having a conversation. It looks like they're looking at that file. Diana may be having questions to Monet about it. Monet probably somewhere lying her way out the situation. Trying to keep Diana close. That's my prediction.
That Whitman file.
Xavier, we said the same thing in our recap last night. Our first thoughts. Like, this is an unnecessary break. Why do you wait till the end of the show to give us a break? Like, you stretched it out so long. Now, you should have gave us that break at episode 5. Like, go ahead, episode 4 or 5. Just go ahead and let the season ride on out. The last 2 episodes, we don't need a break. Like, that was pointless.
I guess because it's Mother's Day. I don't know.
But that's what it is. It's Mother's Day.
Y'all should, but y'all, it don't matter. Y'all should have let that happen.
But it's here on Friday now, so that, I don't know.
Diana has a file, but I'm trying to figure out who room is she in because it doesn't look like she's in her dorm. So is she in Tariq's dorm? Is she in Effie's room? Like, where's she at? Because I don't think that she's in her dorm. It doesn't look like it's their dorm. Then again, it could be.
I thought it was theirs. I thought it was her and Braden's sister dorm.
It could be. It could be, but for some reason, I feel like it might be Tariq's dorm. And Tariq is in possession of the file, and Diana finds it and steals it. You know how she loves to be on her. My thing is, guilty until proven innocent or whatever, but, I've never been arrested for a crime while in school, so I don't know how the rules work that you are allowed to come back to school the next day after you just got bonded out of jail for selling drugs on campus at school. Sounds like suspension to me, maybe expulsion. I guess not.
But I don't remember Tariq having like 2 doors. Like that looked like another.
That's a bathroom door. It's the bathroom door.
Okay. Yeah, you're probably right. That makes sense. That makes sense.
It just the way the room is decorated, it looks like
I can't even see Tariq having that file.
I'm finna tell you how he gets it. Don't worry, I'm finna tell you how he gets
You
it.
know what? I didn't even think about that. They'll
I'm
probably
finna
say
tell you how he gets it.
You're right. You're right.
I'm finna tell you how he gets it. Effie in jail, poor thing. She's like, I don't know what my life has turned into. And this is the most stupidest thing that they could possibly do. Put a pair of glasses with a suit on Kane, and now he's a lawyer.
Bro, when I saw this, exactly, Retro. When I saw this, I said, yo, this man is wanted and investigated by the feds, DEA. He just randomly happens to show up in some glasses and a suit.
He's a lawyer.
And he's the lawyer or whatever for Effie, and nobody bats an eye. I'm like, come on, bro. Like, not saying they using the facial recognition, but I'm like, yo, they know you. They investigating you, so it's impossible for you to just show up with some glasses and all
And
this,
nobody recognize you.
and nobody recognizes you. Like, come on, bro.
So DeMarcus agrees with me. He thinks that Diana's in Tariq dorm. Xavier, they have the proof that she was selling drugs up there at the school because one, they would have had to get consent from the school to put their camera up on the rooftop.
Yeah.
And they have the picture, the still shot from the camera of her putting the drugs into the locker on top of the roof. So, I mean, if, at best, that's enough to get her kicked out of school. Tariq got kicked out of school. And they didn't even find the drugs in his room. They found him in the AV room when he was up at Choke. They kicked him out of school just off of that. They didn't even catch him selling drugs. So Diana can go back to Stansfield, Ivy League school with all these white folks after just being arrested for selling drugs. Make it make sense. Don't make sense. All right, so Kane is pretending to be a lawyer. He's a fool. Tariq is walking down the street. You know, he looks concerned about something. Maybe after his meeting with Davis, maybe he's going to meet Davis because, you know, he's got to go over there to Davis.
Yeah.
Give Davis a clue. So he's meeting with Davis, and he's looks like he's giving Davis some unsettling news. There's the police file right there in Davis's possession. Now, why he chooses to give it to Tariq, you know, everything has to be shared with Tariq. Tariq is the Wizard of Oz. He's all-knowing.
Only because, but remember in this scene, he says that's the file. He tells Davis that's the file he saw. So I'm wondering at some point, I don't know when he saw this file. Because he said that's the file I saw.
Well, you know the episode's title. I just figured that out too. The episode title is called A Last Gift. So maybe Sachs made a copy of the file?
That could be possible.
And maybe he left it somewhere, or maybe it was mailed to Jenny or something. Oh, it's got something to do with Sachs. It's got something to do with Sachs. I think Monet did get rid of her file, but we see that Davis didn't get rid of his. I don't know. That's going to be.
That's going to be curious. How?
Yeah, that's very curious.
I'm sure they're going to show how he sees it, because I remember this scene. He said that's the file I saw. So he sees it before Davis shows him, and then when he tells him, Davis is like, "Oh fuck!" Like they got this file. So I'm not sure how he going to.
And this is why he tears up the office, because he knows that file right there is going to lead back to him.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was the one who solicited someone to go steal it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be interesting. That's going to be very curious to see how they tie that together. Jenny is speaking with Agent Medina and Blanca, and I'm wondering if she's upset about the whole Sachs thing. Is from the preview, it seems like she's more so concerned about trying to put the squeeze on Effie, because Effie is, you know, she's not breaking. So they're gonna have to find some other way to tighten that noose up around Effie's neck a little bit, because, you know, she's gonna go in as a G, she's gonna go in as a rider, but they're gonna find some way to break her. And they thought they had done that when they showed her Lauren.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously that ain't enough to make her crack. So what they really want her to do is roll down on Tariq.
I still think that we're about to see Jenny break from either, like I said, she's going to find out the unaliving of Sax, and it's going to be a burden on her because she told him, "We're not protecting you," or she's just gonna go hard in the paint, and now she's just gonna get super determined to, pin the investigation on Tariq and everybody else.
Jenny is not good at her job, and she was way worse than Angela. Angela was good. Angela was way
Yeah,
more skilled than Jenny is. Jenny is just a dummy, a
yeah,
crash dummy.
Jenny is like she's just unhinged. She's not calculated whatsoever, and she get desperate. She make a lot of mistakes, and it's like Sex said, because of your own ambitions, you just being stupid.
Bap, I don't think that she's going to screw over Kane because she's screwing Kane. So I don't think that she's going to screw over Kane in
yeah.
the Tajadas. I think she'll put the squeeze on Tariq first before she would do Kane.
Yeah.
And then again, she might even ride for Kane too, because it's kind of like what Fresh was saying about the whole RICO thing. We out here running the streets together, and we doing dirt together. So I mean, your hands ain't clean either, Effie. You made the apps. You've been out here pushing weight since Choke. So I know your secrets. The only thing that Effie has on Tariq is the bodies. Tariq don't sit there and confess to all his murder count. He told her about Jabari. He told her about Ghost. So those loose lips while y'all laying up in the bed, get you every time.
Great man and clear.
But I want to go back to that scene in the season trailer where Davis tells Tariq that they got to take out her. So could her be Jenny? Please take her. Please take her. Take her. Please
I
take
thought
her.
it was Lauren.
Yeah, but kind of going back to what Xavier said, it's going to be a little bit more difficult for them to get to Lauren unless Lauren refuses to cooperate and they end up kicking her out of Witset and they catch her up like that. But unless they catch her on the inside, they might catch Effie on the inside and unalive her. But I really think that they're talking about unaliving Jenny.
I think it's either, if it's not Lauren, then it's Jenny, because he's telling Tariq, somebody that he has like firsthand knowledge, or like firsthand dealings with. Like taking out Jenny would just make it worse on that whole situation. So I mean, I don't know, but we gonna see. But I think it's one of the two.
Drew is probably informing Kane and Monet about his encounter with Evelyn and how she's asking about Gordo's whereabouts and how they probably figured out that he's responsible for unaliving Gordon. So Drew's getting ready to have to clean up his own mess. He's pretty much telling the family at this point that, listen, this is my mess. I got to clean it up or whatever the case may be. So Kane's looking at him like, dude, you need me to go get this work done? And Drew's like, nah, I got it. So I want to see how Drew's going to handle this situation with the rest of Evelyn's brothers. This looks like the outside of Evelyn's diner.
Yeah.
The hazmat
Maybe
suit.
Monet's.
Monet's. The reason why I feel like it's Evelyn's diner is because remember they have the roll-up doors. Remember last week's episode when they were shitting shit down, they were pulling their weight off the street or whatever. They pulled down the roll-up door. So this is why I feel like it's Evelyn's diner. And the next scene looks like Evelyn's diner on the inside, the bar stools or whatever. And you see some bodies laid out. So has Drew broken into the diner and
You got good eye.
has Drew broken into the diner and
Probably
caused a carbon monoxide leak or something?
Probably so.
It unalive everybody in the diner. Evelyn's sons, the other two sons, the other three sons, because they got a hazmat suit on, so it's a carbon monoxide poisoning. I'll be on it.
I'll be on that good because I ain't even think about. I ain't even peep that. I ain't even peep them.
I'll be working these screenshots, yo. I'll be working these screenshots. What y'all think? This Evelyn's diner. I'm telling you, this is Evelyn's diner. It was like
Yeah, that's her diner. I agree
her
with that
diner.
100%.
That's her diner.
That's her diner.
That's definitely
Yeah, that's her diner, definitely.
Like I said, as soon as you showed that, I was like, yeah, that's her diner. So
Schroeder went in there and created a gas leak. Created some carbon monoxide poison. The folks in there dead. And then let's see what else we got. All right, that's it for this week's episode. So May 19th is going to be a banger. Not sure how we're going to do the week of the 19th episode. I'm going to be out of town that weekend, but we might make some work. We might make some work that weekend. So we'll figure it out. We'll make it work. Any other predictions, fellas? What y'all got?
I mean, like I said, my only prediction is, like I said, either I feel like Effie's not going to fold. If she does, she's going to try to just fold on Tariq, but it's not going to work in her favor because it's still going to implicate her. And then, like I said, to backspace what we was talking about, I kind of feel like I don't know if it's going to be Drew or I don't know if it's going to be Lauren, but somebody is going to be unalived before the season ends. It's going to be one of the two. Like somebody else is going to be unalive before then. And I kind of feel like it's Drew only because of the Gordo situation, but I'm not 100% sure. And then, like I said, I still feel like Jenny is going to go through this whole guilt trip of the situation because she told Sax, like, hey, we're not protecting you. And then Sax is unalive, and now she feels guilty about it. I don't know, but I still feel like somebody else before the season ends, somebody else is going to be unalive. I just don't know who.
All right, Jack, what's your predictions?
I would Fresh. I think somebody's definitely gonna be unalive, but I think it's one of the three people. I think it's going to be. I think somehow, some way, I could see it could be in Everett because at this point, I think his character is useless, and maybe he go check up on Drew, after the meltdown is sitting on YouTube, and then Gordo people pull up, and light the place up. I could also see it being Diana in the wrong place in the wrong time, and Drew, So I think it's one of three people. One of them, maybe not necessarily unalive. If it's ever, he's going to be unalive. But somebody is seriously going to get hurt if it's Diana or Drew. If we see Everett again in another episode, if we see him in the next episode, it's definitely going to be him. I think he's out of there.
So Janice, that's what I was saying last night in our first impressions episode. I was thinking that it's time for Drew to go. And I wouldn't be mad if Drew goes. So I wouldn't be disappointed to see him go at all. Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that, DeMarcus. I've been saying that from off top. Once a snitch, always a snitch. I mean, she rolled down on Tariq when he was at Choke. So, I mean, I don't put anything past Effie. I do feel like she's going to tell something. She might not fully cooperate, but she's going to try to tell enough to get herself up out of trouble. But it may not work out in her favor because, again, they got that attempted murder charge on them. We could possibly see Noma pull up on Tariq and like, yo, what's up with these charges? Y'all ain't selling no drugs. My product is not on the street. Y'all not making no money. So somebody is going to be unalive next week. I do believe someone is going to be unalive. Not quite sure yet. When Stars drop the pictures for episode 9, we'll get a better idea as to what's going to happen. Whatever. So y'all stay posted for that because once we get the pics, we're going to put them up. Usually they drop them on Mondays. So hopefully we'll have them this Monday. If not, I think we'll have them this Monday still, even though they're not going to air the episode this week, upcoming week. I think we still should get the pictures. So they should drop Monday afternoon. All right, guys. As always, we appreciate y'all for pulling up on us. Sorry about the schedule change this week. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button on y'all way out. Share the video out. Subscribe. Hit the bell notifications so y'all can stay tuned to our channel's content. We appreciate all y'all. We enjoy all of the comments in the chat. Y'all have some great ideas. Some of y'all's ideas are better than some of the story that we're seeing. So let's see what episode 9 is going to do for us. I hope it's a turn up season for us in episode 9 and 10. All right, fam. If there's nothing else, we will see you guys on the next go round.
We'll see y'all 2 weeks, y'all.
In 2 weeks.
Y'all after the break.